So I came to the conclusion that the black manosphere, or a few guys who don't care about black men and their gripes, because a lot of these black guys, content creators, not all of them, but the ones out here, they're trying so much to gain favor with women. They're trying to gain, they see that the kitchen is getting super hot and they're trying their best to get out the kitchen. They don't want to go down with the ship that they created. They want to create a new ship and leave their supporters drowning in the water. Now, all this that I'm thinking of and everything that I'm seeing for the past couple of months on the black manosphere, even from last year and even from a couple years ago, kind of showed me that a lot of these guys never cared about black men in the first place. They saw the opportunity to exploit men who felt lost, who wanted to connect with other people, and then they started having the same talking points as these men, and they scratched the backs of the good guys who felt slighted by women. And they was talking about everybody and talking about them and talking about them and talking about them. But eventually they stopped and they seen they got female attention. And when they got enough subscribers and they got enough money to get on their feet, they decided to bring people on their platform that was opposites of their supporters. Overall, I'm gonna keep pushing this dude out here. Solo TV 84 knows well that most of the people who probably subscribed to him and gave him all the donations was incel men, because he was speaking points years ago about how hard it was and how women are. This is why he changed from tactic to tactic. But as you've seen now, there's a campaign right now of him colliding and him being around guys who speak ill of traveling. It's the same thing that happened with Sean James, where he talking about bad traveling. Then you got Rango TV talking about not traveling. Minister Knapp, who got knocked out on camera, talking about don't travel. You got all these black men campaigning to other black men not to travel because they see the well is drying up for their donations. And in the beginning, as the supporters of these people, they're spitting in your face because now you're the enemy of society and they get to throw you under the bus because everybody else is throwing you under the bus. But you was the first person that helped them get where they at. The funny thing is, these group of guys on here literally made their bones off the MGTOW name, the red pill space, and then they changed it up and started distorting the way they wanted to distort. Kevin Samuels alone threw a wrench and made everything messed up. He got into Obsidian's head, and Obsidian thinks that Obsidian started throwing MGTOW men under the bus and red pill men under the bus, and then he started collaborating with women, and then then everybody told him not to believe Nicole Michelle. Everybody told him to don't have Nicole Michelle on his platform. There was guys who was telling him and not believing Nicole Michelle. Guess what? When Obsidian decided that he wanted to be so-called a dating coach and he wanted to defer from something else, Nicole Michelle was the same person who turned around and told him not to do it, and she started talking about Obsidian, even though Obsidian put her on a platform. Same thing with all these other people. There's Reigning Woman who talked about Obsidian behind his back when Gab put him on his platform. When Gab interviewed Obsidian, everybody was using Obsidian. He the only one who didn't see it. Then he threw his own supporters under the bus by calling them broke, stingy, and cheap, and said MGTOW men is this and this and that. So when he lost all of his Patreons, he decided he wanted to go get Cash App. But he didn't remember, like C Boogie said, and like I said, I don't have a problem with C Boogie 100%, but the way he come off is arrogant and it throws a lot of guys under the bus. But I'm cool with him about 40% because he speak the truth when it comes to Obsidian. So that's 30% right there. The 10% is in when he do speak some facts in some of his videos, right? But the 30% when he actually go at Obsidian, he's telling the truth. You're gonna go turn your back on the guys who paid your bills and help you fund all the stuff you're doing, and then you're gonna sit back and throw under the bus and say you're a man of means? He posted a video. He posted a picture of his studio. He don't have 3 monitors. His studio don't look soundproof. His computer look cheap. His setup look cheap. Everything about the setup look cheap. So ask yourself, Obsidian supporters and people who've been giving him money for all these years, what did he do with your money? What did he do with your money that he couldn't get state-of-the-art equipment when he was giving him money and make that room 10 times better? You see everybody on here who got a better setup than Obsidian, who was getting donations, and they actually used the money to get better setup. Donovan Sharp got a better setup than Obsidian. Tommy Sotomayor got a better setup than Obsidian. And he was... So you say you're a man of means, but your setup you look like a kindergartner created it. This is what he was doing with your money. He was giving it to women. He was giving it to his lady friend, and then going on here to act like he was he was for black men. I never seen him support any black man in super chats at all. And it's been noted about that. If you want to go to Reg the Bad Guy channel and look at some of his videos when he talked about Obsidian, he makes some good points about Obsidian. When it comes to the fact that he never supported any black man with money and donations. He didn't change his format of the show. And then he started bringing females on his he started bringing more and more females on his channel. And he started liking the attention. At first, everybody thought it was a experiment. But then he kept bringing the same women on all the time, over and over, hearing the lies that they say. When he could have took 2 or 3 samples of the same female and never let them on his page again. This the same guy who endorsed Kendra D. Later on, Kendra D turned on him because she was on Angry Man's side. This is the same guy who promoted Erica Williams. The same Erica Williams who talked about Darius McTow kids, because he said 2 things that was actually fair to men and not fair to women. But I never saw Erica Williams actually making it fair for both sides. She came in the red pill space and she started talking all this blue pill stuff. And when people came at her, she disappeared and jumped in her own space again. O'Shea brung in Cynthia G. Same Cynthia G who called people beta male coons and dusty beta male coons, but then she ended up getting pregnant by a guy who had multiple baby moms. He brung on Nyla, Say, and Taz. And the de facto Renaissance woman, a team up partner for Obsidian. The same Taz who laugh at the plight of men who've been through the ringer with black people. He brung in George Makem and cool with George Makem and all them other people. They don't care about black men. These guys who you support don't care about black men. Because I never seen them not do one show about black men and their stories about who they have to deal with. And make sure that the women are not saying anything about in the situation unless it's positive towards the man. I never seen O'Shea, who has the biggest platform out of Angry Man and out of Obsidian. He never did a show about, let me hear your story, black man, about how you been wronged by your baby mom. Let me hear your story. A whole 3 hours hangout of, instead of the Rumble, dedicated to good fathers who want to see their kids. I never see O'Shea never try to interview not Sean James, the guy who stopped the Waffle House mass shooter, and try to get an interview with him and ask him what it's like to be a black hero. He's always participating in ratchet behavior and always bringing on people who disrespect his supporters. The same O'Shea who, when you support him and donate to him, he's the same dude who will block you off his channel after he gets some money off you from super chatting him. Or you on his Patreon and you've been supporting him for weeks and months and years, and then he gets mad at you because you said something to one of the people he's simping to, and he just basically blocks you. This is why I say I feel that the Black Manosphere was a scam from the very beginning. These guys came together. They see that black men had issues and they didn't have a voice, so they decided to put it together. Let's pretend for 3-4 years to be just like these men, so we can stand on our feet. And then when we don't want these guys no more, we branch out. O'Shea literally spit in the face of all his supporters. There's been tons and tons of men who can tell you right now that he blocked them from his channel just for them saying the remark. He blocked them, same guys who supported him, from supporting him on Patreon and supported him ever since they started, because they said something about Paris Milan. He brought Paris Milan on. He brought ARC in the mix, and then him and ARC fell out, and then Roger Nana Curry was connected to Obsidian. Sean James is connected to Obsidian because he always promoted him. So these guys, they wanted female validation all along, and they use your talking points and your feelings and your rage to gain fame, to gain some little support system, and gain your money, and throw you under the bus afterwards. These guys will never talk about Larry Will's girls and how this woman threw her so-called ex-boyfriend under the bus. Nobody's gonna talk about this. I don't see none of them talk about the Larry Wills situation, about how she accused him of abuse and tried to ruin his career because he left. And mind you, this is what this guy looks like. So they're not gonna show you the other side of the guys who they said go in the gym, self-improve, make money, and you, the women, will come. They're not gonna show you this because it'll destroy their talking points they did in all the other videos. Okay? They're not gonna give you advice on gym tactics and gym techniques. They're bringing on guys that that are not fair in their talking points. They bring guys who are just like them, arrogant and superficial and shallow, and then tell you to do this. But they don't try to collaborate with other people who know what they're talking about, like Nick Strength and Power. Why did none of these guys who talk about self-improvement ever actually collaborate with Nick Strength and Power, or at least have them on there for 5 minutes, 6 minutes to tell them how to improve themselves for black men? If you branching out, why don't you branch out the right way? Instead, you branching out with females in order to get female viewers and female donations. Told you, these guys have scammed you from the very beginning. Angry Man threw a lot of smart guys under the bus when he talked about Obsidian, because Obsidian is well read. Obsidian threw you under the bus by saying Mick Tyler is broke, stingy, and cheap. He threw his own supporters under the bus by showing them that whack behind studio that he showed y'all. All that money that y'all been giving him from all this time, and he's showing you that studio. And it's always with him as a work in progress. He had all this time to get money to make a better system and better everything. He should have had 3 monitors with the money he was getting. But he was going out to brunch. He was going out to stuff. He was taking his lady friend out to IMAX and studios and stuff like that, buying her $200 cologne. He was telling you what he was doing with his money, giving Ren money, giving Taz, putting Taz on his platform after everybody didn't want Taz back on his platform. Same thing with O'Shea, putting guys on a platform that nobody wanted to hear him talk. Getting these pro-blacks in here trying to talk down to guys. You have nobody on your side, black man. Realize this, man. These guys have never made a show dedicated to helping black men get a passport. And I'm talking about pulling the donation money that they getting and giving it back to the donors. To the donors that they helping. They never actually had a show in and said, tell me your story and tell me why you want to. They never made a lottery ticket on. They never made a lottery of who get the passport every month. Donating, make a lottery on giving away a passport, giving away money for a passport and making the person show them that they got the passport. They never did that. They never tried to help men pay their child support for 2 months so they can relieve the pressure off a black man from paying child support to a bad baby mom and say, this is what I do for the black men. They never try to get black men jobs in their hometown and their cities and try to gain connections so men can get jobs. They never made a dedicated show for black men to get jobs, for black men to win a lottery for getting passport. They never made a show for black men to vent without the interruption of black women. They have the same talking points so they can get more supporters, because if they divert too much, they'll lose all their supporters. So they got to bring you back by acting like they're on your side. But then they do 2 more videos that says something opposite of what you like and what you care about. They never tried to give you money to go to the gym and ask you how much. They never try to say gym challenge. They never try to make a challenge for black men, the gym challenge. How much would it cost for me to get you in the gym and show you your progress to the Manosphere and see if actually going to the gym will actually help you like they said it helps men. They never do that. It's all about them and their donation and them thinking that they're over you. Same thing with a couple other guys. Somebody who I was in one of the guys. He's cool. He's an older guy, but a female in his chat room had beef with me, and then she came on cam just to talk down to me. Then she associated herself with the worst type of people, and then after that, I pulled my donation because I tried to tell this guy about what she did and how it all started, and he ignored me. I'm still a fan of his. I'm still going to view his videos, but I'm not going to support him with no financial no more. I was blocked multiple times by his moderators for small stuff. The most that I've been blocked on anybody's channel. So I decided to just be a viewer and chat in the chat box for a couple times. And after that, I don't participate. So these guys really don't care about you at all. They don't. They're not going to tell you how much self-improvement, how much it really costs a man next to you supporting them. They're not going to tell you about what it looks like for a man, how much it looks like for a man to date a chick who high maintenance and not that hot. They're out here using talking points that all these other people were using, even though the same guys who wasn't called incels back in the day. A few years ago, they wasn't called incel. Incel wasn't a popular word. It was true forced loneliness. And these guys were supporting them back in the day when they first started up. So now when they made a word for him, they started using incel and making fun of him. And talking down to him, talking about you're an incel, you never been in the field, I've been this and this and that. They want you to be sloppy seconds to any of these women. Because most of these women who support these guys in the black manosphere are just like these twins who dated the same dude. They don't care about you, dude. They're promoting these women acting new. You got guys like Tony Maceo who tell you 75 and all this other stupid stuff. Tell you to date on your level. But then you ask them certain questions and they go blank. Just like one dude came on my channel and said something. So, well, that's not the point. No. I said, okay, what is the point? And he didn't answer me back. So you want men to go in a dating pool that's polluted with guys like this who did this to females. And then the females walking around giving it all to all the good men. Because there was a video of a female saying, naming all the men that she gave HIV to. And she probably got it from a guy like this. And many of these guys who make these channels are just like this dude. And they bring these dudes on live just to talk down to their fans. And just to talk down to their supporters. Whatever you want to call them. And that's supposed to be respect. And you keep giving them your money to be disrespected by a guy who don't care about you. Don't care about if you're gonna get some kind of diseases from these people. They want you to worship these women. This is why they tell you don't leave the country. Because they worship them. I mean, Solo TV 84 had Axe Nate on his his live last night. Axe Nate is a simp. And he's shown to be a hypocrite. Somebody exposed Axe Nate about stealing his content and cutting out an interview when he was making good points about traveling. And then there was somebody else who exposed him of him having a Patreon of him trying to go to Dominican Republic. And on his channel is nothing but women kissing. It's about kissing women's behind. Everybody know that being a photographer and interview is the best way to get women all together. A woman will sleep with a photographer faster than she'll sleep with a good dude that's a doctor. Because when a guy who's a photographer couldn't basically maximize her attention that she can get and make her look better for potential suitors. So Axe Nate took the easy way out, but he don't want men to take the easy way out and get away from men like him simping. Because guys like him made it harder for normal guys who don't want to kiss women's behind. Because he take pictures of women making them feel 10 times better than they are. Also, when he interview him, he does the same thing Solo TV 84 does when he interview females. He holds their hand in an interview. And these women say all types of stuff about men. And they lie through their teeth. But we supposed to donate to guys like that and kiss women's behind? Wash their feet. This is what they want you to be. Every time a female's feet get dirty, they want you to wash it. They don't think you worthy of actually having a female wash your feet. They want you to just be female washers, man. The feet washers for females. Because a lot of them now starting to show you who they really want to ally with. Obsidian showed you that he don't care about a supporter because he always on Ren channel and did a 13-hour hangout. He's always bringing Taz on, a guy who disrespects smart men. Taz is the same guy, and Nyla is the same two people who disrespect Man of Tomorrow. As Man of Tomorrow has more money and more accolades than they would ever have in their entire life. But then they called him names, and when they finally found out that he was Big Shot, he was the man. They finally try to come around and try to act like they didn't say the things they said to him. Then you got guys who is in tech who Taz disrespect. But you having this guy on his platform and you talking about thanking black men and everyday brothers and all hardworking men. You just using that moniker to get men on your side. So they can be sitting out here washing women's feet. They want you to give women what they don't want to give women. That's what they want to do. They want to make you sit around and wait for your so-called Nawal. So you can believe that the Nawal is the Nawal and give them a ring. So they can sit back and say black love, and black love. Some of these guys refuse to give up black women because black women are their comfort zone. And they would rather sell black men who supported them from the start under the bus than to get rid of the black women who hurting them and making them single. A lot of these guys who promote men to stay in this country and talking about that they only like black women and black women only like or only can agree with my plight as a black man. These kind of dudes who say this kind of stuff, they be the same ones who told you to self-improve. How can I sit back and how can you tell me that this woman knows my whole story and know my struggle when she's not wanting to self-improve, but I'm the only one who has to self-improve? She don't want to stay with me because I'm not packing. She don't want to talk to me because I'm not tall. And I'm not funny and I'm not this and I'm that. But I'm supposed to take everything she deals out to me. But that's supposed to be a woman who knows my plight and knows my struggle and all this other stuff. These guys sound like simps and you're giving these guys money. These guys spend all their money making women feel good. It's like they taking women out on shopping sprees by making fun of men on their channels. Making these women feel gooder than they supposed to. And then these women in these male spaces get to say anything they want. And then the guys who you've been supporting and the woman don't support, you get blocked or timed out, and the woman get to say whatever she wants. Then you see these same guys who talking about, oh yeah, man, I'm here to help black brothers and blah, blah, blah. But you have female moderators on there who got their own agenda and who obviously when they in the chat box, they don't have any type of empathy for black men who had it hard their whole life, who had to work their ass off just to get one little thing. And then they want to go tell guys, oh, you should go to the gym and do all this and self-improve. And then the person says, I did that already. And I still didn't get who I wanted. Oh no, it must be you. And they always taking aside the females. They want you to be the next Russell Wilson for a female in the black manosphere. They're selling this point. And then they want to turn around. And then after that, they turn around and use this as a selling point of brothers shouldn't be a Russell Wilson. But the women in their chat rooms want a Russell Wilson. These women are supporters of guys in jail. They love them. This is why Taz and Nyla and them always got supporters. This is why they have multiple supporters. They living through these guys. And then eventually, one by one, all these guys are having to fall out with these people, Taz and them people. And they start to come out with all this different stuff that's happening behind the scenes. But the women who now against them, I'm still looking at them in a way. It was this female on here, I forgot her name, Angel. She liked the Taz because he was tall. She didn't learn from her past boyfriends that gave her a mental illness and made her lose kids where she can't have any kids now. Went to a thug instead of going to somebody in the black manosphere who was a simp, who had good money or something, and she could have been attracted to them. But she went to Taz. And then she wanted all types of sympathy. And these are the women in the black manosphere coming in the black manosphere overall. And there's no regulation for this. Kevin Samuels promoted a few months ago, and I think it was last year or a few months ago, Kevin Samuels promoted Soldier Boy. This is the same guy who was telling you to self-improve and, wear the certain suits and, look clean and cut and all that. This is the same guy who wears like man purses and stuff like that, instead of having a regular wallet or a clip-on wallet or a wallet that has to, like, you walking around with a man purse. Then he's gonna promote Soldier Boy and said Soldier Boy is what every black man should aspire to be. Mind you, then he the same guy who says people are afraid of love. And then he says he told Obsidian that MGTOW men are what is it? MGTOW men is depressing because ain't no woman around them. This is simp talk. But then he turns around and promotes a guy who has tattoos on his face and everything else, and now in jail. And he was scamming people, but he was promoting this dude. Every time you get on these guys' platforms, for some reason, it's always a situation where you feel like you're getting jumped. There's never a real discussion on that page where they had 3 people who disagree with him and 3 people who do agree with him, so it could be fair. Every time somebody comes on their page, they always 1 on 5, 1 on 3. They always going at him. Game Changer is one of those guys. He went on BGS platform and talked about, all the women and stuff and all the gripes of black men and everything else. And Game Changer was making a point. And then they go around telling black men to take anything they can get and doing all this other stuff, and people still donate to him. And then Kenneth Thomas, shout out to the Grandmaster Troll Kenneth Thomas, exposed BGS the way he looked. But this guy is out here talking about he's select and all this other stuff and saying all this garbage that he was saying. And people still go on his channel taking his advice. Mind you, this is the same dude who brung in Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels is the same dude who said show your work. But mind you, he didn't expose and tell BGS to show his work, to show his face. But now the whole show your work thing and show your face it only applies to certain people who people don't believe. It don't apply to people who they're cool with. This is the hypocritical stuff that happens. They don't tell people to show their face. They don't tell the females to show their face and show their work. They tell the men to show their face and show their work. Mind you, we have an example of somebody who show their face and show their work, and see how vindictive black people can really be and violent they can be, in the form of Tommy Sotomayor, when he shows his face and he gets threatened. He got punched at a rally before and all this other stuff. But you telling guys to show their face and show their work so they can get their stuff, so they can get fired or something, because you're not going to support them after they show their face and somebody gets them fired and their money go out and run out and they in the street. What you going to do? You barely supporting them and you asking them for money. They want you to be the money man for these women and make these women dreams come true. Because I'm starting to see, I've been seeing it, but the fact is, I'm seeing it now that they're trying to make factories to crank out men for these women to use. So you can pay all these women's utilities and their bills and everything else. Ain't no way that you have all these women on your channel and on your spaces when it's supposed to be an all-male space. And then the excuse is, we don't run it like the white guys do, but the white guys run it better than you do. They don't allow females in their spaces, man. They don't trust that. They see a female commenter, they'll block her faster than anyone else. But you want to sit back and not take notes from them? But then you want to tell the smart men, the men who never went to jail, to take cues from guys who in the jail and did all this dirt and scamming people and stuff like that. Oh, you need to learn from these guys. You need to jump in the gym. You need to. All these dudes doing right now is using your hopelessness and using everything they can, knowing that you're depressed and knowing that you're in a dark place, and they're trying to sell you books. Sean James trying to sell you books and trying to keep you in America miserable, as miserable as he is. He didn't have interactions with any female in the past 20 years, but he want to tell you about traveling and passporting. You got Roger and Alan Curry who selling books to you, but the next minute he's seen Wikipedia made changed the definition of red pill and black pill, and he threw all of his supporters and subscribers under the bus and said, I'm not a part of the Manosphere no more. Keep me out of it. It's all about money and fame for these dudes and selling you their dream so you can walk around in circles just like them. They don't want to have you free. And that's why I say it's a scam. Playing a character on here and never took nobody seriously, and come on people's platform and don't tell them straight out the gate that they don't really like them. But you on other people's platform acting cool with them, and then the next minute we know you up there talking bad about the person and telling him he's ugly and this and that, he can't get women and this and that. Why would I trust the dude who didn't tell a guy that he didn't like him in the first place, but then will sit back and every time he on a person's platform, and you know who I'm talking about, you're gonna be on his platform, and he gave you a platform to talk to on his place, and this Obsidian gave this person a platform to go on there, and he always played a character and never took it seriously. And then he showed it off, and then he came out and said, that's why I never actually took him seriously. Why would you go on this platform in the first place? Then you start selling a book and want everybody to support your book. Why would I believe a person who just didn't tell somebody automatically that I don't like you? I would never be on a panel with somebody that I don't like. I tell them straight away, and it's online. So it ain't no repercussions. I tell you straight away, I don't like you, dude. I don't even want to be on this platform with you. I don't like you. I'm only doing this interview because I had something in it. I had something in it. You get me subscribers or something. Maybe that's it. But these guys backstabbing each other, talking about each other behind their back. What kind of example that shows about the so-called black manosphere when y'all can't even get along? Also, y'all can't even refund the people that y'all did wrong to. Y'all blocking people based off people who you used to be cool with, but you ain't gonna give their money back that they super chat you. Because I bet you, if just like King Sigma said in his live about Sean James, if everybody sat back and said, yo, I'm giving your book back because you disappointed me and I want my money back. I want my refund for my money and the things that I asked all the years that I supported you. Will he give all that money back to the people that he talked down to, that he said that they shouldn't travel, and the pipe dream and everything else? Sean James didn't have no repercussion talking about incels and beta males because they're the lowest hanging fruit. But then he tried to come after men who travel. And the men who travel are not incels and beta males who you can kick around. They didn't have to come on here and ask for people to fund their lifestyle. They didn't have to ask for people for a laptop or an iPhone like Sean James. But he had the nerve to turn his back on the people who support him in the first place, just like O'Shea, just like Obsidian, just like Angry Man, just like a few other people in the black manosphere who teamed up with these people, making up fake horror stories for donations, taking down people's video for a female that eventually turned on them. How many breakups that I'm seeing in the black manosphere. Y'all can't even have a stable group that lasts for like 2 years without having a breakup. When y'all having females on your platform, and then eventually the females turn on you within a year or two. Not even within 6 months. And this is who you threw black men under the bus for? To have women on your page talking about you on the next on another live? And we can tell how Obsidian was a simp and a blue pill because he kept bringing the same women who talked about him in other chats and talked about him in other lives on his live. Then he kept bringing the same dudes that would talk about him in other people's shows on his page. And he kept making up with people who obviously didn't respect him. He teamed up with Prophet of Thought, even though Prophet of Thought threw him under the bus for females. He teamed up with Angry Man multiple times after Angry Man talked about him. He teamed up with O'Shea now after O'Shea just talked about him multiple times and sided with Roger and Adam Curry. And then when Roger and Adam Curry showed his true colors, O'Shea decided to get Obsidian back on his team and writing for something. See how they try to play you, and then they don't have no loyalty to you as the supporters. They just stay away from certain people and not have them on their lives. You know, they don't tell you the dark side of dealing with certain people. Like the situation with Brittany, whatever her name is, the fitness chick. She was with a lawyer. And if anybody didn't know, she was with a lawyer. And she gave up getting married to a lawyer that she regrets to this day. You can see it in most of her videos. To get with a rapper. And she became a pass around. Instead of her being with a lawyer, having a nice life. But is anybody in the black manosphere tell you the story about this situation? I haven't seen any videos made up of this yet. And it's old. How about the Angela Simmons story that happened about the so-called nice girl and they choosing the wrong dudes? Why don't they make stories about this one in the black manosphere? Because it happens all the time. Erica Williams was just a part of the bigger situation that happens in Black America, who everybody's supporting and promote and act like they're good, and then they turn out they're not good. Just like Angela Simmons, just like the Brittany Renner, Brittany Renner. There she go. See, they don't try to bring good women in their platform because the good women don't want to be a part of it because they see what it is from the very beginning. Any good chick who's single will not associate themselves with the black manosphere at all. Any real married chick who happy with their marriage wouldn't be in the chat room full of guys. Seriously, they wouldn't. They'd be happy with their husbands. You don't see Asian chicks in the black manosphere married. Latino chicks in the black manosphere, they're married to black men. No, you don't see white chicks in the chat rooms in the black manosphere and they're married. You only see these women in there. These guys want to be the only. They make them feel good that they have multiple women who support their platform and might give them something on the side because they got money and they have a little YouTube channel. So these guys are using your support, your money, your donations to give to women. And they using your support to get women. They traveling with your money. They giving your money to women, and then these same women come on their platform and talk down to you like Paris Milan did and Irene Yvette did on O'Shea's. O'Shea has brung a lot of destructive people in the black manosphere. Same thing with Angry Man. Same thing with Obsidian. 3 heads of the black manosphere. Scamming their fans, blocking their fans, telling their fans they don't care about their subscription. They don't care about your donations. They don't do that. They say all that. See, when the white guys said stuff like that, they retracted and they fixed the mistake. There's a situation that happened on the geek side, and a female was saying all this different stuff, and they made her, I don't think they fired her, but I think they tell her to calm down with her stuff, and either they distance themselves from this chick, or they told her to don't use their name in her platform like that no more, because they don't want the heat that she was bringing. They fixed the situation, unlike the black manosphere. These guys want to feel like the popular guy with all the women around them. See, these guys who tell you don't travel, don't date other races, they'll never show you examples like this. It was a big thing about this a couple years ago, about this dude with this chick. And look at the way he looked. They don't want you to be happy as a black man. They want you to be a forever servant to a female. Forever servant to the community. You're not allowed to be happy. You're not allowed to have your own family smiling every day. You're not allowed to be stress-free. You have to support them and donate them for them to talk down to you and block you. They've been running a pyramid scheme on y'all. They've been using you for donations and support and subscribers, and they've just been doing it for years. They don't show you the good. They always show you the bad and the ugly. They don't show you guys. They don't try to bring guys on their platform who are married to foreign women or in relationship with foreign women who can tell you the story that might resembles to yours. Females in the black manosphere, and the females that be in the black manosphere, you see it all the time in the chats. They fish for compliments. They be flirting with the same chicks who talk down to black men. It's sickening that they come in the black manosphere and these guys just let them do what they want, say what they want, hurting men's egos. Doesn't matter if it's online. This is supposed to be a space for black men event for you to just shut the hell up and get out of here. But instead, you letting them talk and say all these different things, and don't tell them, hey, I'm giving you 5 seconds to cam up and tell your side of the story, so other people can cam up and tell you that you're wrong. But they don't ever do it. They don't tell you the real story about these women out here and how they pick men. They'll never want to tell you how it is when men do step out of their zone, when men do step out of the party zone and all this other stuff. You can be socially awkward and weird and all this other stuff. They don't tell you that you don't have to go to the gym to get females if you just step outside of the country. They don't tell you that you don't need game or swag or dressing all super good and nice to get some fine women. They don't tell you that. They want you to believe the story that they're telling you, so they get donations and feel bad and feel above all of you. They don't tell you the story. All these women who are in the black manosphere, they're looking for their second go around. They like Pepper, who missed the opportunity to be with Will Smith. Even if it would have lasted 3-4 years, guess what? Will Smith, for duration of his career, was a big movie star, multi-millionaire. She passed up a good dude for a dude who beat her up and everything else, and who right now nobody hears from him yet all. And now she's on a reality show dating a younger man, while Will Smith overall is still keeping himself afloat. He ain't what he used to be, but at least he's still in movies. Crappy movies, but at least he's still in movies. At least he's still in movies. They never want to tell you the story about couples being unfit together and coming fit together. About white and black couples, or Asian and black couples, Latino and black couples getting together and they struggling. They don't never tell you this. They never tell you that other races of women be the only ones who could struggle with black men more than black women. And these are the nerdy, geeky guys who don't got no game and swag. But then eventually they with the guys and they finally see that this dude was worth staying with. Many men can tell you overall, when they didn't have nothing, there was another race of women that was right beside them. All these celebrities, black celebrities, who black women don't like back then, now they like them, but they found out it wasn't a black woman beside them all this time. It was a white woman. The guy from Power, I forgot what that show is. Luke Cage got a white woman who was by his side before he was an actor, helped him out. But these guys in the black manosphere are not going to promote this, because overall, in the beginning, they was using you as a come up, so they can get with women, so women can be their support system. They scammed you, man. They scam you just like women like this, who overall will show off their thug boyfriend to the world, but never show off their good dude to the world. They're never going to help their supporters that supported them from day one. I'm sorry that they did this to you. That they scammed you like this. You know, it's sad that a lot of guys got played like this by these dudes who threw you under the bus just to get new subscribers that will kiss they behind. Won't tell them to stop treating people like crap. Won't tell them the truth. Many guys told these guys to take certain guys off their platforms, and they didn't listen to you. Then you see what they do with your money. They don't get better equipment. They don't try different topics. They just do what they want to do. See, real company and real businessmen, they don't never, ever, ever, ever go against the people who financially back them. They don't do that. Nobody does that in their life. Even big business don't try to shit on their shareholders. It'd be stupid for any big company to shit on their shareholders, their financial backers. Any company who spit in the faces of their fans and their supporters. But these guys call themselves businessmen. These guys giving themselves certain titles that they didn't earn from that. They don't have variety on their platform. If you write down how many people did you see on their platform? How many people that came from their platform that you actually like, that has different talking points and fair talking points? You do your own research. I'm trying to just I'm telling you right now that the Black Manosphere all together, if you look at it, if you do your own research, it's been a scam all along. And finally it's been exposed by what these dudes are doing to y'all. And how they treating y'all, how they blocking you on their pages, and how they letting certain women say what they say in a black male spaces, and this supposed to be only for black males. They calling you names because you just want black males to be in a space. They call you homophobic or homosexual because you don't want women to come in their face. We already know that women don't have empathy for men. We know that already. This is why they said this is why they would never ever know what it's like to be a man. They can always sit back and say, I know men and I've been around certain men. I've never been around those type of men. They need help. They need this, they need that. No, you need to sit down and listen to these dudes and don't say anything about it. You can't tell somebody about their experiences and then tell them they need help, because then when a woman tell you her experiences, you take her side because you're a woman. But it's not good for men to take other men's sides because what, you think you can say that they're homosexual and stuff like that? It's the men's fault for letting these women in the spaces, because women never can be fair. They can never take their biases out when they talk about certain things. So overall, man, I know everybody's seen it about the manosphere and how everybody was moving in the manosphere and how they just let women come in, say what they want. I'm just making this video right now just to point it all out and point it out in my own way.